Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope you all are fine and doing well. Dear students, today we are going to learn chapter 6 of your textbook, and the name of the chapter is Give Her a Patron by D.H.Lawrence. In this chapter, we will learn the detailed summary of the chapter, and first of all, we should know about the author of the chapter. As mentioned that D.H. Lawrence is the author of the chapter, and D.H. Lawrence was born on 1885 and died on 1930. He is famous English writer and he is famous figure of 20th century of English literature, and he wrote many autobiographies, and he belonged to a very poor family. Lawrence's childhood was dominated by poverty, and autobiography means an account of a person's life written by that person's, and The Sons and the Lovers is his famous autobiography of his childhood. And during the First World War, Lawrence and his wife were unable to obtain a passport and were target of constant harassment from the authorities, and they were accused of spying for the Germans. And he knew about the issues faced by the lower class and working class. Okay, and this is the introduction of the author, and now we learn the detailed summary of the lesson, which is Give Her a Patron. And the lesson has many main points which are mentioned on your screen, and the first point is introduction. In introduction, we learn that we introduce the D.H. Lawrence, and as mentioned that the D.H. Lawrence was first great English writer, and he belonged to a labor and working class, and he knew about the issues faced by the working class and society and problems of lower class. In the chapter which is Give Her a Patron, D.H. Lawrence discusses the basic points which are responsible for the happiness of family, and the role of both man and woman is very important for the happy and peaceful family. And he mentioned and described the factors which disturb the married life, and he tells about the traits of man and says that man is always in search of you can say of an ideal pattern of womanhood for his partner. And further he says that a woman also wishes and desires the same pattern that which is made by her husband, and woman tries to become the pattern of perfect life as her husband demands, and she lives up to the pattern which her husband fixed for her. Okay, and a woman tries to obey her husband, but a happy family suffers due to unpleasant behavior of the husband, and basically husband fails to give his wife uh, due status and dignity in life. Okay, and this is the introduction, and the next point of the chapter is fact from history. And in old age, the Roman introduced theory of matron, and the writer mentions wives of many historical characters. Caesar, which was a famous hero of Shakespearean tragedies, and his wife was above any suspicion. And Dickens, who was a famous English novelist and writer, and he invented the child's wife and Dante, who was came from Italy, and he invented and produced that is a chastity woman. And the Renaissance movement, which was very famous moment of its time, that is and the Renaissance movement produced, or you can say invented, a learned woman, or it was very common woman in the society. And there was a time when men were also attracted by the prostitutes and became the favorite of men. And next point of your chapter is men are fool, and the writer believes and wrote that women always follow the pattern which is set by their husbands, and the men are flexible in their nature, and husband cut a sorry figure in married life. And you can see that men are flexible, and they before marriage he asks a woman to follow the pattern that is chosen by him. As he marries that woman, he finds that she is not suitable for him. He goes on shifting his point of view regarding his policy of choosing the ideal pattern. And next point of the chapter is men versus women. And according to the writer, and the point of view of the writer is that women always have the logics and reasons, and sometimes a woman leaves the pattern which is set by their husbands, and if they feel that it does not satisfy him, they leave it, they left it. Okay. And men consider themselves intelligent, so that they never accept any advice of the woman. Okay, the writer says that it is great tragedy of our society, that he says that modern men are fool, and because they don't accept that if they freely accept the pattern of woman adopted by their wish, they will perform well. But sorry, unfortunately, men have idealized women differently. Before marriage, they think that the girl should be little boy baby face, but after marriage they demand that the wife should be noble, pure and majestic of the infinite mother, with deep bosom of consolation, and infinite, and that businesswoman or the lured prostitute on black silk sheet. Okay. And it is the only sacrifice nature of the woman. And the writer's view is that the women have the sacrificing nature. She sacrificed, and that they adopt every pattern without complaint. And the next point of the chapter is, and the final point of the chapter is secrets of the happy life. And the last point, of the chapter, the author gives some suggestions, and says that a man should and he suggests to the married man, and said that a man should keep his wife comfortable, and in this way a woman can contribute to the happiness to the family life. And he also suggests that man should give the woman full freedom to follow her own pattern with limits. And um, and he says that according to the writer, that man is fool, and he does not know that a woman, if annoyed, may become an angry cat. Okay. She may give him some nasty cruel digs with her claws and makes him cry for mother dear. And the D.H.Lawrence drop a hint for all men in the last point, that to adopt the path of dignity and respect for their life partner. And to sum up, the basic theme moves around a very fine idea that D.H. Lawrence believes that we may form any idea about the qualities of women, but we must give women a decent and satisfying idea of womanhood. And men should not harass them by changing their pattern for the ideal woman. This is the central idea of the basic theme of the essay. Okay, this is the end of the lecture. If you have any queries regarding this lecture, you can ask me the question in the comments. And thank you.